Faraday's Mirror, Chapter 19, Thrift Store. This certainly is their lucky day. Charlie nodded his head toward the Salvation Army sign, stepping down to the cracked gray pavement from the cab of the local U-Haul they'd rented to furnish their newly installed trailer home. We're going to be buying out the place. We still need... He paused, making a mental list. Just about everything. Did you lock the back? Felicity asked. We've got the appliances and mattress in there. And Laconia's a busy place. Don't want to lose those. Yep, Charlie nodded, holding open the store's door for his wife. An electronic bell chimed. How do you want to do this? Let's start with the furniture. We'll want a couch and some chairs, a bed frame, dresser, mirror, and a small table, maybe a nightstand. We'll do that together. Then we'll divide and conquer? Yes, Felicity nodded. After the furniture, you go get what we need for the kitchen. Silverware, plates, that kind of stuff. I'll try and get us some decent clothes. Remember, the goal is to spend as little as possible while making the house functional. Function before form, Charlie agreed, as they entered the small furniture cluster. There were only 2 sofas on display. One was an overstuffed blue velvet monstrosity that had been worn threadbare in both corners. The other was a 1970s scratched wooden futon with a cushion that was an unsettling plaid, cream, avocado, and orange. They looked at each other and shrugged. Futon it is, Charlie smirked. Jack can sleep on it if he needs to. He sighed, grimacing again at the colors and then around the room at the worn 70s and 80s cast-offs. Our trailer's going to look like an episode of Welcome Back, Kotter. The armchair selection wasn't much better. They decided on an olive green corduroy material, but in pretty good shape. They picked up a water-stained dresser that was missing a knob, a card table with 3 mismatched folding chairs, a few lamps from different decades. Charlie enlisted the help of a young 20-something employee, a student at PSU, to help him load them onto the U-Haul truck. The elderly cashier kept a running tab of everything that left the store. On his own after that, Charlie got a grocery cart and gathered the necessities for the kitchen. Pots and pans, cups and flatware, mugs, knives, spatulas, a dish rack, a toaster, the essentials. It only took about 15 minutes to feel totally equipped. He parked the cart beside the register and went to look for Felicity. She had her own cart loaded with gently used clothes, curtains, blankets, and towels. I'm not buying underwear here, she said over her shoulder. I have to draw the line somewhere. We'll shop at Kmart for that. Sure. He lifted up a flannel shirt and smiled. You know, I'm glad that men's fashion is pretty stable. I mean, the collar's a bit wide, but I bet the guys will still be wearing button-down flannels in 20 years. Yeah, Felicity agreed. Women's not so much, though. I'm not going to be winning any fashion contests in these. I've taken just about everything my size, except dresses. Got a fair number of shirts that fit me in the men's small section. Charlie? She looked up to see that he wasn't listening, his gaze intent on an old-framed oil painting set on a shelf above the clothes. It was a western scene, snow-capped mountains reflecting down on a clear glacial lake. A bit grimy and dusty, but she could probably clean it up with some soap and water. Yeah, I'm here, Charlie said, breaking his trance by shaking his head. You like that picture? Felicity asked, taking it down from the shelf and giving it a closer look. Not really. I mean, yeah, I do, but it's just that... He rubbed some moisture from his eyes. We were thinking about heading out west this summer to take the boys to Yellowstone and Glacier in Montana. I was imagining a family trip that may never be. Felicity sniffled, wiping her eyes now too. It's true that. She reached down and took Charlie's hand. It's not real glamorous being married to a small-town college professor, but the summers are underrated. You know me and our boys in a way that a lot of fancy businessmen never will understand their families with their 2 piddly weeks a year. You spend 2 months with us every day, all summer. I never had that with my dad. She leaned in and kissed him on the cheek. Me either, Charlie admitted. Felicity put the picture in the cart. I'm buying it and hanging it over the bed. When we get them, we'll go on this vacation, together as a family. The painting will be our reminder, our rain check. Her jaw was set with determination. And I'm going to write my mom and dad. Write your father, too. We need some pictures of our boys to hang in the house. All of ours may have burned up, but they still have some. She pulled a baseball cap off the shelf and set it on Charlie's head. That'll do, she nodded, and shifted it into the cart. You'll wear that hat in the picture in front of Old Faithful with Cole and Byron next summer. That's a promise. He nodded. I think we can check out now. She wheeled off in the direction of the register. Charlie stood for a moment, amazed by the strength of his wife, then followed in her wake.